What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's well. Welcome to the Black Masculinist Newsfeed. And today, as usual, I got something interesting for you. Um, especially in regard to black men. So, what pray tell can we be dealing with today? Well, let's take a look. Here we go. This is a piece you can find on people.com, right? It's entitled Nebraska Mom Convicted of Sexually Assaulting Boys Who Had Sleepovers with Her Daughter. Yeah, real talk. Nebraska mother has been convicted of sexually abusing friends of her 11-year-old daughters during weekend sleepovers at her home. On Wednesday, Christina Greer was found guilty by a Sarpy County jury of 3 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child, 6 counts of felony child abuse, and 2 counts of witness tampering, according to Associated Press. 38-year-old. Yeah, the 38-year-old now faces a sentence of at least 45 years to life in prison. According to prosecutors, Greer hosted sleepovers for her daughter's friends between September 2017 and February 2018. The Omaha World Herald reports during the parties, she gave children alcohol and marijuana-infused gummy bears and told them to delete any evidence from their phones. She also groomed 2 boys, ages 12 and 13, to have sex with her. During their investigation, authorities recovered sexually explicit photos of Greer from one of the victims' phones. Real talk. So, basically, what we have here is a nearly 40-year-old woman who is actively having sex with her daughter's friends, the age of 12 and 13. Right? Now, the issue with this, mainly, is that we hear about men all the time when it occurs, where they're engaging in inappropriate relationships with underage girls. These ones kind of really slip through the radar, and I have to actually have people send them to me because they never really seem to make like the principal main cover of the news. They don't seem to, especially in this post Me Too environment. You would think that if it was truly about people who've been victimized, that these kind of cases would be universally treated, you know what I mean? But they're not. So they at least make it to the news. And in this title, they at least use the term sexually assaulting, but by and large, this would be statutory rape straight across the board, simply because of the ages. You don't even have to get into the narrative of the story for it not to be considered statutory rape. And yet, we don't seem to hear that language being used still, So women kind of get a pass, white women most especially, and, she gets over here. But at least in terms of the media, not necessarily in the court of law. The question will be what the final sentence is. They said she's facing 45 years to life. Does she get, probation? It's not the furthest thing from possibility. It's happened before. So it's one of those things to look out for. But I report on these regularly, as you guys know, because they don't make the mainstream news. And because I think it's of interest for masculinists, most particularly, to know about. Because at the end of the day, these are the kind of occurrences that people tell us don't occur. They don't happen. We're imagining things. We're making up things. We're just trying to fight. We're just trying to deflect blame. No. Again, when you talk about the issues that go on in terms of males and black males in particular in regard to sexual assault and rape, when you add up made to penetrate, when you add up what goes on in prisons, right? When you add up the new definition of rape post 2012 by the FBI, what you find is that men, statistically speaking, black men, are highly vulnerable to sexual assault and rape. Straight across the board. And much of that has to do with the fact that the United States incarcerates more of its citizens than any other country. So that alone puts men in a precarious situation because up until a few years ago, you had over 2.2 million men incarcerated, about 200,000, roughly a little more than that, women incarcerated, right? And, attorney Antonio Moore was correct. There were more black men incarcerated than women across the entire world added together. More African American men here in the United States incarcerated than all women. So when you look at those kind of factors, when you start to talk about sexual assault and rape, prison in and of itself exacerbates those numbers for men. So when you have those kind of conversations, it's already beyond what most people know. But when you add in these kinds of stories that slip under the radar, that account for the experiences of boys in particular, somehow they don't make the discussion, right? And men remain the primary aggressors in the national imagination in regard to sexual assault and rape. And it's simply not the case. There are a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on under the surface than people think. And unfortunately, this is one of those things. So keep an eye out. If you find any more of these stories, please send them to me, because I'm trying to just make sure that you all are put on alert about the kind of things we experience. All right. So I hope you guys are well. Have a good one. Peace.